Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Aquarius July 1, 2022. Neptune has just begun its yearly retrograde, and there can be some rethinking, introspection, and perhaps some indecision about business or money matters, leading to a new perspective. Ultimately, you're seeking inspiration, and if you've been sourcing it from the wrong places, a redirection might be in the works. It's an excellent period, lasting until December 3rd, for exploring your dreams and ideals and examining whether you're connecting with them as you pursue your worldly affairs. Today, you can be less patient with trivial matters or superficialities. A feeling of being on the fence is likely, but waiting to make a decision is a good idea. Try to focus on positive, productive tasks despite distractions and some inconsistencies. Fortunately, well-being grows as you handle your responsibilities and attend to material and practical needs. Where have you been investing your time and energy? After yesterday's new moon in Cancer bringing fertility and new beginnings to your 6th house of responsibility, daily rituals, and due diligence, chances are you're making the conscious decision to nurture your well-being and practice more self-love in the process. However, while in opposition with powerhouse Pluto, you could feel unconsciously stifled or dominated by another energy in the mix. Having said that, this could be reflecting onto your personal life, so steer away from toxicity. How will your work-life balance stabilize despite unexpected changes? Your attention could be diverted from one thing to another when the moon in Cancer sextiles Uranus in Taurus. Work could be what you need to take care of, but there may be unexpected happenings in your private life that also demand your attention. As issues arise at home, with family, or due to personal matters, you should try to nurture a schedule that meets the needs of your day as it changes. Remember to take care of yourself today. Be happy with yourself and everyone around you. Stop trying to find fault with everyone you interact with. By criticizing everyone's habits, what they do, and how they do it, you may wake up one morning and you find that you have no more friends. By only seeing the bad parts in people, you may inevitably talk yourself out of a relationship with them. Be careful of coming across as always knowing the solution to everything. It is not your job to dictate or judge. Relations and friends are having a hard time with you and vice versa. Put an end to this mutual feeling of frustration. Be honest with yourself and consider compromising on some points. Talking to people to clear things up is also a big help. Regard today's negative atmosphere as an opportunity to resolve conflicts permanently. Take a little extra care when you're making arrangements, even with your good friends. Misunderstandings could trip you all up and freak someone out if you're not careful. Whatever you try to achieve is criticized and unlikely to be accepted in a very favorable way, especially if you feel undue pressure to perform any kind of activity. It is far better to delay important activities or decisions until you feel positive about the outcome. Use your sense of humor to relieve any tension. You should be enjoying a fabulous mood all day today, so indulge yourself. Be aware, however, that there may be some larger force in the picture that is trying to rain on your parade. Remember that though you may not be able to control the situation, you can certainly control your reaction to the situation. Try not to be too stubborn today. This kind of attitude may get you into a bit of hot water. If you decide to go that route, make sure you are wearing a life vest. You'll find it easy to talk to all kinds of people on this day. The influence of this vibration encourages communication on all levels, making it a prime day to take care of business. Whatever you have on your agenda, rest assured, the words will come readily for you. Make full use of this additional energy at both the workplace and at home. It is a great time to express your affections or concerns, as well as plans or projects. With no planetary activity in your relationship sector since the Sun left last August, the Moon's return each month is a valuable chance to check in and become more emotionally engaged. Yet while this last visit before the first planetary activity for the year begins in just a few weeks was always going to make this visit more important, this also comes in time to capture Mars' final days in your communication sector. This is a chance for your relationships to benefit from Mars' war on communication barriers. As Mars moves into his final 4 days in your communication sector and of his war on communication barriers, the Moon's return to your relationship sector offers a chance for your relationships to benefit. With no planetary activity in your relationship sector since last August, but the first planetary activity for the year just around the corner, this is a chance to get the communication lines open ahead of time. Our eyes in the sky. It can enable spiritual or emotional bypassing, yet it can also help us to gain perspective regarding situations that are typically too charged for us to assess objectively. This is one of those times where compartmentalization can be a helpful technique, as it frees us from self-imposed obligations to canonize our past. Instead of assuming that we are bound to replay the same traumas over and over again, we recognize that we have the authority to change how we tell our stories. This will be a somewhat unconscious process today, organically occurring as we go about interacting with friends, co-workers, and acquaintances. We simply tell our story differently, and this action creates change. Using new words prompts different recollections, and the way we share with others creates a holistic ripple effect. Meanwhile, Saturn in Aquarius loves innovation but might be slow to put changes into effect, knowing that true progress is never achieved overnight. Yet, when these two influences come together in a sextile, they harmoniously play off each other. Mars encourages Saturn's propensity for experimentation. Saturn checks Mars' instinct to run into the fray without proper protection. This is a great aspect to use for initiatives where we must put our heads down and focus. Although we will not likely reach our projected target today, this Mars-Saturn permeates us with the confidence that we will achieve our aims if we work diligently towards their realization. This makes us want to get lost in the waves of love and emotion. Be careful about trusting people who don't deserve it. This can excite sexual prowess and heighten sex drive. It also shortens tempers, so try to avoid meltdowns and drama if you can. A good way to deal with this energy is to meditate or count to 10 before confronting anyone. This can help alleviate the situation and melt away stress. By the end of the day, you could feel worn out and tired. Give yourself a rest, some love, and a glass of wine. The Moon in Cancer, ending its void of course which began last night. This is the sign of its exaltation, suggesting an easy flow of instinctual, nurturing energy. Over the next 2 days, we are encouraged to connect with our senses and practice mindfulness. Seek radical presence and keep things simple. The past is gone. The future is yet to be. Acknowledge the tether between your emotions and your environment, and ground into the moment. In the late afternoon, the Cancer Sun forms a quincunx to Saturn in Aquarius, which might dampen our spirits. We may sense a looming crisis, or fixate on a nagging feeling that there are responsibilities we must attend to. The timing is inconvenient, as this is one of those occasions where there is never an optimal time for it to land in our laps. We want to be a leader and demonstrate that anything can be handled with compassion and integrity. Yet addressing this issue requires us to put our feelings aside and just get it done, which seems counterintuitive and causes us to feel stretched thin. We worry we might be viewed as uncaring if we handle the matter efficiently, or that we will be seen as too soft if we act from a heart-centered place.